All right. Curses be upon StreamYard because they deleted my description when I tried to add the E accent or the accent on the first E in Arsène Lupin. Anyway, I this is gonna be a short one. I didn't advertise it anywhere, so we probably won't get anyone in the chat. But I committed to doing Tuesday updates, so here's what I got from the last week, and I'm very excited about it because I've just shipped my second. Let me check my audio real quick and just make sure I'm in the right. Okay, yeah, I've just shipped my second new PCB design. In the last week, well, in the last like month or so, I've been heavily, like feverishly updating my KiCad setup because it has been broken for years and I haven't made basically almost any new PCBs, circuit boards, art circuit boards in that time. And it's something that I love doing. Here's some examples of previous ones I've done. Doodly doo doo doo. And where's the I always gotta show the companion core. Oh yeah. Here it is in use. But anyway, I love making PCB art, especially functional PCB art, which all of these are. This is like a little sort of personal brain device, like a personal sort of amulet type thing, very similar to what we see Chipperdoodles doing now these days. But I will say I'd never published this, but although I find Chippy's stuff amazing and I love their stuff, and we need to I want to make some front plates for their Anwar setup. Anyway, I talked about that last week. So today I'm excited because I shipped two new designs. And I'm getting them shipped as fast as possible. They're going to be white silkscreen on green solder mask because that's the fastest I could get. But in the future, they're going to be black with gold traces and white silkscreen. And I'm going to show you those in a minute. But first up, hey Jay, what's up? Cool to see you on here again. Anyway, okay, so, but to intro first. Someone asked me when I would be doing another Hack O'Clock. And so I figured I'd show you my live shows and events page. I need to update the upcoming events one, but we're coming to the end of events season here, so mostly you're going to see things around Hack O'Clock. Hackster Cafe, my bad, for the pre-scheduled stuff. So this is my every couple of weeks interview show on hackster.io's YouTube channel. I adore doing this. I've done like 250 plus, probably more than that, of these over the years. Interviews with people doing really cool stuff with electronics. Just we got Cody from Hacker Pager. We got Chloe Madison with the Power Tool 500. All kinds of cool people doing stuff with open source hardware and wearables, robotics, all that good stuff. So years and years of wonderful people. All right, so anyway, that's one of the things coming up. And you can find descriptions of all these on here. So there's Hackster Cafe. We got Dayglow. There's another one coming up in, I think, December 4th. I'm going to add that to our list as well. It's going to be, actually, I think it's going to be themed around Meshtastic. So, Jay, perfect timing. You just got done grabbing your Meshtastic node off of the roof. I won't tell. So anyway, our next themed episode on December 4th, I think, early December. It's going to be a Thursday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be rad. That's my co-show with David Groom. And we got Hack O'Clock. So these are explicitly spontaneous. It's sort of like when I'm working on something that I think people would enjoy seeing with electronics, and I go live and just be like, here's the thing that I'm working on, etc. And that's so last Friday, I did a bunch of bootstrapping on this. I keep trying to avoid saying that word because it's not, it doesn't mean what people think it means. I was also playing around with streaming to Instagram at the same time for the first time, which was interesting. Like they couldn't see the screen and stuff, but I was telling them to come over here and fielding some chats from over there, which was kind of cool. But you can see around the last hour or so, this is a 4-hour stream. I had a lot of stuff to show off from Supercon. And also I was like trying to basically set up my whole KiCad workflow. And I'm very excited to report that I've finally got that pretty much dialed in. So I have submitted my first design to PCB way, which I found out in the summer is the fastest option that I was finding for not horrendous prices, to ideally get like a prototype version of these PCBs shipped this week. We'll see. Um, anyway, so a couple of days ago, I put my first one up on there in a while, since fixing my setup. And I ran into all these like random issues, which made a lot of sense once I thought about them. But things like I had holes cut in the board that I had on the edge cut layer, but I didn't have anything drilled through the board for reasons that you'll see, because it was all just surface mount. And the interface didn't like that. It made me go back and like do a couple of rounds, and so I like turned it into like a non-plated through hole, including one that's like 4 millimeters wide. It works fine, and so that has fixed that problem. Another one, I didn't have any silk screen on one layer because I'm doing a lot of stuff with like exposed gold-plated copper, uh, because it's pretty, and so I didn't have any silk at all. Ended up having to, it sort of like choked on that for a while, and I had to like go back and talk to them. And this time so I went back and added some little component markings on there, which I probably should have done anyway, and just the teeny tiniest little like bits of silk screen, but then it was able to accept it. So this new one that I just finished today, there's a blinky and a micro SD card holder, and they're both very tiny to be embedded into jewelry and such. And the one I put up today just went through no problem. So I'm very excited about that. And now I have like written down all the little like niggling stuff, like be sure to make sure that you like flipped the design before you add it to the PCB, because I draw stuff in Procreate on my iPad, and I need to when you just like, I take a screenshot from KiCad basically, send it over to Procreate, and then draw on it. And if you are doing the front and back designs in the same Procreate document, you need to remember to flip the one that you're using for the back design. And so like, and also like which things to do negative and when to do positive and stuff like that. So the whole workflow is now dialed in. I'm very excited about it. Did I mention I'm excited about it? So anyway, the other show that we've got going on is Tuesday updates, and this is something I committed to doing so that every Tuesday you will know I'll have something new for you. Oh, I don't even have this on here yet. But basically, I'm really bad about promoting the videos that I do. And so Hackster Cafe is some Tuesdays, and I want it to be so that everyone knows, like, there's always going to be something new on a Tuesday, except last week when I was sick. So, then occasionally, Space Song Sunday, go live with music, originals, covers, and arrangements about space. So anyway, that's that. And then you can see past Tuesday updates and blah, blah, blah. So Charmware. I started this system in 2018 as a modular tech jewelry system, as you can see. It was my first PCB project, pretty much. And I was sort of like, I made these bits that you can basically use for surface mount or through-hole components. This is a very versatile object that you can basically use to chain together. So this can take a surface mount 1206 size, resistor, LED, you can put a resistor across here, a through-hole one. You can put a reed switch through here. You can do, all kinds of different stuff. Vibration motors, brain is failing. That's fine. Anyway, talked about this last week, but there's a battery one as well. Anyway, what I'm doing right now is essentially updating this with new designs that are in a new format, but I'm continuing the Charmware name. Thanks. Jeez. Your meshtatic node fell over in the last rain, so you gotta rejigger it to keep that from happening. Indeed. Well, good luck with it. So I'm gonna pull a bunch of screenshots over to the right side here, because I don't have those PCBs yet, but I want to show you all the stuff that I'm excited about making. So bear with me for a moment, please. I'm going to change my screen share over to show the full window. Go. Oh wait, stop screen sharing. Okay, cool. And share again. And now, and we're going to show the entire screen over there. Okay, cool. So, I'll show you like the ones that I shipped first, and then I'll show you some that I've been messing around with otherwise. Okay, so this is the first one. You can see that at first, there's a couple updates that I made to this actually. The first thing that I had to change was these drill holes. And so those are now plated through hole or non-plated through holes instead of being just circles on the edge cut layer. And then also I added little gold corners to all of these so that it would be very easy to import, basically so that it would always be the same dimensions as the PCB and I wouldn't run into any scaling issues. It'll always import at the same scale by inputting the dimensions. Lovely. And then the third thing I had to do here was add silk screens. So I put an actual label for the CR1225 battery on this side. Imagine actually labeling your stuff. And then also put resistor, LED, and switch markings over here. There's another thing I did, which was that these are, these three things here are pads. This is for the, the ground side of the battery. These are for the positive. It's a surface mount battery connector. The battery goes in this side. As you can see, it's designed so that it will slide over without shorting anything because the ground ones are connected together, or the positive ones are connected together, and I didn't want to like slide the ground one over something that would have that problem. And I also added a little extra copper here, like to reduce the reflecto patterns a bit, which is sad, but that's fine. So we're going for sort of like Art Deco and or Art Nouveau here, where it's like sort of geometric and sort of organic and all just sort of like scratchy pretty aesthetic, which I love. One thing I love about KiCad, I mean, you get this in other apps as well, but like, isn't this just gorgeous? Like, this is how it looks when I hid the copper layer, which in my current settings is set up as red. Or actually, I just changed that, but I'll show you that in a second. So you get the back mask and back copper. I think that's the back copper color, actually. No, I'm lying. Anyway, and then there's the front mask, the like translucent purple. And it's just beautiful. And you can see those two little vias that I placed. Hopefully I ended up with those in the final product. Oh dear. Oh yeah, I gotta check out that game because I love those aesthetics. Like, oh man, there's so much I need to check out. Another one, BioShock Infinite has some really gorgeous aesthetics, which I am too much of a weenie to play. I think I need to like play that with someone else so they can do the really freaky parts. That's how I got through Outer Wilds actually. For some reason, the in the DLC, the Echoes of the Eye, there's like some critters that like for whatever reason I just like find them incredibly freaky. I can't shut it off, so I had to co-play that with someone else. But then there's other ones that are just gorgeous. So those are the first one. This is just a little LED thing, as you can tell, maybe. So you've got LED, resistor, switch, and a nice big meaty like switch that only has 3 contacts to solder, and they're nice and big and chunky, and the switch itself is nice and big and chunky, so it's a lot easier to switch than the tiny little ones on my previous PCB. Like, I'll show you the difference here. Here is what I had before, and admittedly, I like made this. I did sand this switch off a little bit because I didn't want it to poke out, or maybe it was an accident. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. It might have been when I was soldering or sanding off the mouse bites off of the edges of this actually, and then compare this to the massive switches that I'm using for these ones now. Comparatively massive, you know. We got this. I'm just gonna hold them up side to side. Take them out of the dang tub, Alex. There we go. Okay, so compare, if you will. I'm gonna turn it off again. This horrible tiny switch with this nice big chunky one. So when I'm wearing this earring, I sometimes want to turn it on and off while I'm wearing it. And it's a pain in the butt, let me tell you that. It's just a giant pain. And I gotta like, I always forget which side it's on and stuff. This will be much clearer and much easier to just like flip over. Plus, even the soldering is way easier. These type of switches have very tiny little leggies, and they got like 2 on each side plus 3 at the bottom. So they got 7 of them that you gotta do. Pardon my filthy fingernails. I mean, cut those. Anyway, so this is gonna be way better. Switch-wise. And so then the second one that I just finished today. Well, okay, since we're talking about games, let's pull up this bad boy. This is, I'm not gonna like, this is just for fun, but check it out. This is the Darkness Stone from Hades. And I made a different version where, like, obviously fading is not really a thing I can do with the standard PCB layers, which is how I like to make mine, is not using UV printing full color stuff because I don't think it looks as good. So, but essentially we got like silver, hassle plated lead-free silver for these guys. I did update it so that this purple is all the same, but the black is black. And then, yeah, so purple solder mask, black silk screen, and silver hassle coated copper. So that'll look kind of cool. That would just be for fun, though. I'm never gonna like sell those or anything, obviously, because I don't own the design. I just love Hades. Still not allowed to touch Hades 2 until event season is over. So speaking of KiCad slash KiCad colors, we've got, this is the second one that I just put in today. I am making these as like, this is a whole experiment in seeing how much I can sort of hide a footprint in a piece of art. So if you look at this thing, I'll pull up the footprint as well so you can actually see what this is. It's a half-size micro SD card socket. And this is, there we go. It's just really not focusing. But anyway, it's very small. And I've been sticking these into jewelry with the aim of creating PCB jewelry. I ran some tests at Supercon just now and found that it was actually really effective. So where's that one that I had the thing stuck to? Here we go. This fella here was a sort of like prototype. This earring is by someone else. I got it at a store, but I just like glued or like taped this socket with this, you know, super sticky, clear, squishy tape onto the back of an earring. And then you can just slot this into there. And it doesn't have a huge amount of friction, which is nice. It's very easy to grab onto the card. You don't have to have like amazing fingernails. And it just goes like that. And this held really securely. In fact, I did a previous one with just some regular double-sided tape, I think, and it actually fell out of my ear. And let me pull this out of the computer so I can show you. It fell out of my ear and got stepped on, and the SD card cracked, but is still readable. Like this is the micro SD card that I had in my ear. You can see the scratches on it, and the little sort of break from being stepped on still works. I plugged it in. I can read off of it, which is great because that's what I use these for, is basically backing up video files while I'm at events and stuff off of my phone. Ooh. I have okay. I've done halftone shading actually with the standard layers, so like halftone solder mask, I think, and halftone copper, which works really well. I'm still not a fan of the UV shading, but I guess you could do that. That's a good idea. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I still don't think that I just like doing them this way, but I understand that there's like, yeah, you're doing a thought experiment, and I support that. So anyway, you can stick these onto whatever. I have these like sort of crappy dangly earrings that I got from like a Walgreens just to experiment with because I was like, this looks like it could hide something. Just like to have my video files around without having to carry a bunch of chunky things, and like it's cool and cute and stuff. And I love the idea of just another thing I want to do with this actually is just like have a set of personal documents, like my most important documents that I could easily have with me, but won't be like really obvious in case of emergencies, like a passport and whatever. Anyways, so this is the experiment in, can I make the footprint of that micro SD card holder socket look like something else? Can I embed it in art in such a way that it looks rad? And it turns out, I think the answer is yes. I'm going to find my screenshots of the actual footprint here so you can see and compare. Give me a second. KiCad. In this house we say KiCad. I don't have opinions about it. I'm just like It rhymes with iPad. And I have this iPad to KiCad tutorial. Okay, mumbling. Find, where's my, here we go. Footprint. Okay. Here's my Procreate traced version of the footprint from the datasheet. And oh yeah, here's the original. I showed some of this on Friday while I was setting all this up, but it's worth a review. So basically started out with the datasheet here. And that's horrible. And I could do a really super neat parametric version of this by like going into Inkscape and like, you know, making all these the exact sizes that they say on here. I'm not that kind of person. I was trying to just do this like fast and, you know, fast and dirty. So took it into Procreate, took a screenshot, took it into Procreate, traced it, and basically that's what ended up becoming this sort of postage stamp design. I played around with a bunch of different ideas, and then eventually today I was like, oh crap, that looks like a stamp. I could just do that. And it turns out you can just do that. Part of the deal that I'm doing here is that I'm not constraining myself to making sure to fill up all the copper or not put copper where there isn't pads. So all the black stuff here is where there's solder pads. And it's all one piece because these are inert, passive, like the PCB does not read or write anything. It's solely a storage item. And so hence, I have a lot of freedom with the design. Come back, there we go. And you get this postage stamp situation. Can I make these the same size? It's sort of like, yes, you know. Anyway, so I made the back part first and decided to make it Sutro Tower themed. So this is Sutro Tower. It's a radio tower in San Francisco. It's the best one. It's triangular. It's massive. It dominates the city. I gotta pull that up for y'all. Where's the Sutro Tower? It's beautiful. I love this thing. It's massive. You can see it from almost anywhere in the city. Look, look at it. Anyway, it's got this cool triangular structure. And let's see. Where's it going with this? So, that's what I decided to theme this on. It's basically a postage stamp from beautiful San Francisco, and this is Carl the Fog, another San Francisco standard and frequently and breathing Sutro Tower in its foggy embrace. So, it's just like a little, you know, San Francisco, whatever. And then on the front, I ended up doing, like, I was going to submit it with just this because I'm under time pressure to get it done by this weekend and, like, ideally receive them by this weekend, but I couldn't stop. And I was like, I gotta do something cool for the front, and I have to add silk screen or it'll hate me. So I just continued the sort of, like, fog motif on the front. And these will eventually be black, but the prototypes, again, that I'm getting are green because that's the fastest option, and the solder mask is white, or the solder silk screen is white. And then I'm actually ordering these at half height because I think they're cuter that way. And also, they ship in the same time, they cost the same price, and I forget what the second thing was. I don't know, it's just good to have them be smaller. I see monochrome. Yes, okay, good point. I was trying to find that Pete Mondrian style set of earrings by Anne Barella last time, who is the one that did the only UV printed PCBs that I've enjoyed, which are, as you say, just like block colors, which, yeah, so I'd love to see it if you do that. Drop me a link to your thing if you do that. Yeah. Anyway, so let's see. So those are the two that I did, and also the Hades one that I did for funsies. And then here's like a previous version of, oh yeah, this was a previous concept. I struggled mightily with just like figuring out how to design this around this footprint and have it look natural and not look super weird and stupid. I think the postage stamp is the right way, but I did kind of enjoy this like marker style, and I think I'm going to do more with this like brushy markery style. I'm not totally happy with how this one turned out, although I think it's cute, you know? Tell me what you think. It would end up being copper as well, like copper on black. And I'd have to add, this blue is just some of the footprint screenshot peeking through. So that wouldn't be there. It would just be the pink and then some like added silk screen and whatever. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. And let's see, there's more stuff to talk about. So media. Okay. So while I've been doing all this, I've been listening to Arsène Lupin books, and I adore these. I've never listened to these before, but there's a Lupin Netflix. There's a Lupin show on Netflix, or Lupin, my bad. Anyway, it's very good. My parents were watching it, and it is a French series, and it's set in the modern day. It's a super cool adaptation, and I only saw a couple of episodes of it, and it seems pretty stressful for like a weenie like me, but it's really well done and a beautiful show. So anyway, the second one I've been listening to, there's like a first book and then there's a second book, which is Arsène Lupin versus Sherlock Sholmes, which so the author Maurice Leblanc I think was a contemporary of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's, and so he used Sherlock Holmes in his books as like facing off against his gentleman burglar Arsène Lupin, right? He's basically like doing this sort of like fanfic with an OC insert. But I mean, he wrote the first Adventures of Arsène Lupin first, but I kind of wonder if it started out as a fanfic. Anyway, it's from like 1906. So he started writing these, and then Sir Arthur Conan Doyle got mad that he was using Sherlock Holmes in his fanfic works, basically, and was like, you can't do this. And so Maurice came back and was like, okay, I will rename him Sherlock Sholmes. And so if you look at the book, it's actually Sherlock, like Arsène Lupin versus Sherlock Sholmes. And he also had another one called Homelock Shears. But anyway, Watson is renamed as Wilson. It's ridiculous. Just Lupin in these books is just a delightful character. He's so like such a little brat. He's a brat. And he reminds me of like, I don't know, he's childish and mischievous, but also a huge genius and like has this energy that's just like complete like you know, I don't want to give anything away, but anyway, it's really fun. And so I listened to most of it on Spotify, which I'm trying to get off of, but I have like 600 playlists on there that I gotta get off. Time is the problem. But anyway, it cut off my reading at 30 minutes until the end because they have like a monthly limit on how much you can listen to audiobooks. I know it's BS, but anyway, so I went searching for other places to listen to the last 30 minutes and ended up on this video, which the fella who narrates it, this is in the public domain because it's by LibriVox. The fella who narrates it is not as good at the French pronunciations, but he does do an amazing voice for Arsène Lupin. So I'm actually re-listening to it with his narration because I just love how he does like the rascally Lupin's voice. It's just delightful. So that's oh no, yeah, it's not the anime Lupin. No, yeah, I think that there's a lot of like incestuous naming where everyone's like referring to everyone else's characters and stuff, you know? Like I think that which one was it? I was just reading about how there's an anime, which one was it? I forget. Anyway, where Columbo's cool skateboarding nephew shows up, and his name is like Barranco or something, which some point out that like Columbo and Barranco is basically the backwards version of that if you do Barranco. But also you could romanize that as Blanc, aka Benoit Blanc. Kind of awesome. Anyway, so yeah. Tangents on tangents on tangents. The other thing I've been listening to while designing these specifically is the Magnus Archives, which I've heard of a while ago, but only just started listening to, and I actually pay them money to listen by subscribing to them. But found them uploaded by someone else on YouTube ad-free, so I think they have it on YouTube as well, as I just discovered. But I figure since I'm throwing the money anyway, I can listen wherever. The final thing is public domain review. So I mentioned the other day that I use Quarles emblems for a lot of my stuff. It's not coming up. That's fine. Just this beautiful, fantastically gorgeous set of illustrations that are in the public domain from, and I found them on oldbookillustrations.com. I've used them for many projects over the years, for over a decade. But people were like, where can I find other cool public domain art? And I was like, well, there's the public domain review. Oldbookillustrations.com, very good. Also, the public domain review. Obviously, also the Internet Archive, but not everything on there is like strictly public domain, and sometimes there's restrictions on stuff. Anyway, the public domain is fantastic. They have all these different, collections and essays and stuff. So you sort of like dive into the, like, wow, like look at these, like history and context on these things. I'm gonna have to look at that later. They've got like alphabets and like, I don't know, all kinds of different stuff. Whoa, what? Furries from 1806? What the heck? Oh man. There's so much cool stuff in here. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so but I mentioned that they have a subscription service where you support them, you donate them, I donate to them, and as a result of that, every month they send me a little packet of postcards on a particular theme. So they come in like a little in an envelope inside, or in a little plastic bag inside an envelope, and the like plastic bag is tied up with these Friends of the Public Domain Review stickers. And I just thought I'd show you because this I just got hold of these the other day, and it's topical. So this one seems to be desire themed. We've got the handkerchief telegraph. What different motions with your handkerchief imply, which feels very Arsène Lupin as well. Just like, perfect sort of like cozy fall winter vibes with all of this stuff. We've got a fella in a tutu. We've got, what's this? Illustration by J.J. Granville from Un Autre Monde. Grandville, maybe. So all these eyes looking at this lady. Wow. We got suggestive flowers. Gotta have suggestive flowers. Who's this by? The Dragon Arum, a mezzotint after Peter Henderson, engraved by William Ward Sr. from blah, 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 blah. You can go find it there. Oh, this is gorgeous. I think I skipped over this one before. Isolde. Beautiful. Now I need to actually get around to writing postcards to people because, yeah, we got a suggestive still life with desserts and stuff. We've got I want. An etching and line engraving by William Blake from the Gates of Paradise series, 1793. We've got the classic unicorn tapestry. Don't need to explain that one. And this is a detail from a Tibetan pattern book of ideal proportions for depicting Buddha from the 18th century. It's so cool. Anyway, so they always have one that's like a words thing, and then they have a bunch of pictures and stuff. And sometimes there's ones I find unappealing, but these ones are all gorgeous. This is a very solid pack. It's almost like a blind pull from like Pokemon cards or something, but it's all public domain art. I just love it. They're so good. So public domain stuff, love it. I think I covered most of what I'm gonna say. Oh yeah, we have more hardware stuff. Okay, so I didn't get around to showing all the random things I picked up at Supercon last week because I forgot. So this is from my friend Rolf. It is a little SAO, a shitty add-on for PCB badges, and it has a phototransistor, and basically just like a little phototransistor controlled LED that like gets brighter when you hide like a nightlight when you block the phototransistor. And they taught me all about the difference between phototransistors and photoresistors. Basically a phototransistor, it makes sense, it's controlling the gate on the transistor so that like X amount of current passes from the source to the drain, as you would expect in a transistor. Only the gate is controlled by light. Makes sense. A couple of things and then a couple of SAOs. So my friend Lust showed up with some cool stuff because I traded them a one of these Ouija boards last year. And they showed up with some cool stuff that they brought to Neotropolis this year, which is a sort of festival thingy with a very cyberpunk bent. I've never gone. I'm more into like making stuff focused events these days than like aesthetic ones. But anyway, I do love these things. So this is a cool little like Fallout themed bottle cap, as you can see. I think that's the currency in that game. I've never played that. I do need to play Fallout New Vegas, apparently, according to uh aesthetic judges. My friends think I should like that. Then we've got this gorgeous Memento Vivere, Remember to Live coin. Uh with this, and then there's Memento Mori on the other side. Oh, gorgeous. You may be able to tell from my aesthetics. Like I just find this delightful and gorgeous. Um yeah, very inspiring there. Oop. And a sentiment that I absolutely can get behind. Now, do I have a PCB, like an SAO holder? Yes. Ha ha ha. Okay. For these final two, they are SAOs that I gotta show you by plugging them in. So, first up, we have one by Nanak Adnanin, Meow a Wish. It's got a cat on the back, looking at the sky. Or no, that's a star, like a falling star. That's gorgeous little scribble. And this one, got a little banged up in transit, but it used to be this smooth paper. But look at this. It's like fading in and out. It's just a little like framed piece of art that you put on your badge. And carry around with you. The second one is from my friend Joey Castillo, the creator of many awesome things, including the sensor watch that I wear sometimes. It's a replacement circuit board for the classic Casio F91W watch, and basically allows you to program it. It just swaps in there one for one, and it can run for over a year on one battery. It's ludicrous. Joey is just a genius. But anyway, he has also created the Open Book, which is sort of like an open book reader, Kindle type thing, also on theme for today. And they're set up at the event with these SAOs. You can't read a book on here, but what they had was a sticker printer, a label printer, and basically you would trade for this by telling Joey your favorite book. And I've been on a huge Annihilation kick for the last couple of years. So this whole series, it's a quadrilogy now. So there used to be originally a trilogy. And then, this one needs 3. Can I do it with 2? Yeah, okay. The original trilogy came out 10 years ago, and then the 4th one just came out like in the past year. So it's a really interesting series. It's gorgeous, very naturalistic, and it's got this love of biology and nature that just comes through, but it's also got this eerie sort of haunting vibe. Very, very good. So, I wish I could show you this I wish I would like do a good thing, but so he's making little custom open book sub badges, SAOs, with whatever your favorite book was using his sticker printer. So I don't remember what this goes to, but it's probably the open book page. So that's what I got for you. Oh yeah, there's also so I told my friend Mohib that I was looking for a UV light keychain flashlight. So he had a couple left over from DEF CON. There was a fellow we ran into at DEF CON that I think maybe Mohib knows, who's making his own glow powder. So this is these pony beads coated in this sort of DIY homemade glow powder from someone at DEF CON, and I was like, I had a few of these beads on my way home from that conference, and I was like, are they gonna like, is this one of those things where if they stop me at TSA and they like do the hand swabby thing, is that gonna like set off their weird stuff detectors? Because it's like this sort of like, I forgot what it was. Something strontium illuminate or something like that. I was like, isn't that sensitive in some ways? But I think it apparently it's fine. I didn't get stopped. We'll see. Forbidden Fun Dip, absolutely. It's like this sort of glowy, but I'll actually make it fluoresce for you because that's the whole point of it. Oh, but it's so reactive. It goes so fast. Okay, wow, look how fast that is. So, props to that guy for making some really strong glow powder. Uh, like they're all coated in it, and those are the ones that I just like flashed with the thingy. Um, yeah, but maybe next time I'll drive to that conference because you come back with some weird stuff. So again, that's technically from DEF CON, but Mohib brought it for me. Or he brought it to the thing and gave it to me because I was after a UV light keychain thing. So I think that's finally all the like electronics and stuff that I brought back from Supercon. And this has been your Lightning Tuesday update. Please do check back on Tuesdays or early Wednesdays because I'll have new stuff every week. And sometimes it's a Hackster Cafe like next week. Interviewing someone really cool. I gotta look up who it is, but I know they're awesome because I invited them. So again, go check out Hackster Cafe. It's at bit.ly/ come on, pull up the thing. It's good to give the TSA people something unexpected from time to time. It's good enrichment. Yeah, they need some enrichment in their enclosure. Especially right now, like I don't think they're getting paid, and that's like they deserve something nice. So Hackster Cafe, if you go to alexglow.notion.site, you'll find this page linked right at the top. Twiddly do, right there. You can figure out what all I'm doing on the streams here. Collaborations, interviews, random late night hack sessions. Actually, sometimes midday hardware sessions too. Prototyping, repair, different types of stuff. Space songs. I'll put these Tuesday updates up here, and I'll update with the next upcoming Hackster Cafes. In the meantime, you can go to bit.ly/hackstercafe to see the archive and to see upcoming ones. There's a bunch of cool stuff on here, just like years and years of cool people doing cool stuff. Oh man, wait, what year did I start this? Like 9 years ago. What was the first one? This is gonna be really embarrassing because it's gonna have like the terrible old studio. It was March. Okay, so next March 31st is gonna be the like look at this ridiculousness. Oh man. We got Massimo Banzi. Was he the first one or was it like yeah, was this virtual or in per Oh, it was in person too. This horrible reflective background. What was I wearing? I don't even know what that is. What is that? I have no clue. But anyway, they got a little demo of their hardware. Wow. 2016. Also one of the first ones was an interview with oh no, different Ben from Hologram. I lied. Anyways, so stick around for Hackster Cafe. Stick around for Hack O'Clock at various intervals, and I do these on platforms including YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, and now I've started doing a little vertical co-stream on Instagram where people can't see my screen or anything like that on my desktop, but sometimes they'll chime in with chats and I try to like send them over to here so they can see everything that's going on because I got a bunch of people on there. So anyway, stay tuned. I'm gonna be sharing when my prototypes come in and you'll be able to see what I screwed up. But that's cool because the part of the reason that I do these PCBs, these circuit boards as art that is functional is that like A, I want tools that I can use that look awesome in my opinion and I can wear them. And then B, if the circuit doesn't work for some reason, then it's not trash. It isn't a waste. I can just always wear it as an earring or like use it as art. These little guys, I can't wear those or it would be unpleasant. But they look cool anyway. So even if somebody never uses them, they're probably not just gonna get, I mean, they may just get like sit around in a drawer or whatever, but hopefully they have some added value besides like just as little objects, even if they're obsolete or broken or for whatever reason, you know. They'll just always have some coolness to them and they ideally won't end up as trash. Anyway, these Charmware bits, I'm so excited. They're gonna feel so good. That's one of the things I'm most excited about is just like feeling them in my hands, you know? Anyway, I'll catch up with you later. Hopefully next Tuesday, I will be able to show you some of the prototypes. If you'd like to see earlier updates, follow me on Blue Sky and Mastodon, which you can also find on my website. But I'll show you real quick. This is the rambly end of the thing where I can never like stop yapping. It's fine. There's just lots of cool stuff to talk about. We got Mastodon, Chaos.social, Alex Glow, and we got I'm not showing you my screen. Lol. Blue Sky and Mastodon. And if you missed those, just scroll back and screenshot or whatever. Or go to alexglow.notion.site and click on the things. All right. Thanks for hanging out. It's always a pleasure. I'll catch you next week and hack on.